다들 안녕. Great start here. 다들 안녕. Today, as you can see, I have on the same outfit. So if you saw my last video, girl, I'm getting lots of content in today. I got a lot of shit to say. But I just figured that for this video, this is something that y'all probably were like wondering about maybe. In a few of my vlogs, I like barely mentioned my love life, and that is something that I have the right to keep private, and I still am keeping most things private about it because I deserve that, right? And this is my channel, so I can choose what to share and what not to share. But I feel like this video might be helpful to some of you foreigners, especially my black girls out here in the dating realm in South Korea. Everyone knows already. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you all the basic stuff that everyone be saying. I'm just gonna tell you my experiences and maybe possibly give some advice, but this video is for just guidance maybe, and just to give you information on things to consider or things that may happen here, and I guess in my niche corner of the internet as being someone who's black, alternative, and queer in South Korea. So if you're any of those things or all of those things as well, then this might be for you. So here's basically my dating and love life in South Korea currently at the age of 19 years old, going on 20 this year. Yeah, let's go. Okay, so the first thing that I want to address, I have my iPad here for guidance. The video that I did on K Explorer's page under my Nia in Korea vlog series playlist on YouTube. In that playlist, you can see that I have attached the video there, and I'm literally in the thumbnail, so you can't miss it if you want to go back and watch that. But yes, I had randomly met K Explorer one day, and he asked me about my dating life as a foreigner in South Korea. And first, before that video was uploaded on YouTube, it was uploaded on his Instagram account. And y'all already know, like, Instagram reels, like, the comments under there be lethal, they be crazy. People be saying anything, like, it really just shows you how fucked up the world can be. But honestly, I'm still grateful for that experience in the interview, because not only was K Explorer so nice and kind and sweet, but it was also really good to just like give my experience and give another perspective on it. But I feel like a lot of my points had gotten misconstrued because it was like a lot of the things that I said was cut down in a bite-sized short reel. I feel like people didn't grasp the full like idea of what I was trying to say, because a lot of things that I said got cut out in that Instagram reel. So I would like to address some of those comments, because this pertains to my love and dating life, right? So okay, let's go. All right, so the first comment says, she seems like a nice girl, but I think she's a bit optimistic. And you know what? That's real. I am a pretty optimistic person. I've always been my whole life. So in some cases, I do feel like I have on rose-colored lenses, but also I've been through a lot of shit in the last few years of my life, and my outlook is not entirely positive anymore, especially as a goth. And like, I'm not contributing to the stereotype that goths are like dead inside and just depressed and they don't like no. I'm saying this because if you are a goth, you have a different outlook on life, right? It's obviously it's a music-based subculture, right? But you look at the dark sides of life and you come to appreciate it, right? That's in a short way how you can describe that mindset. And that is how I look at life now, based on a lot of my experiences that I've had in my 19 years of life. So would I say now that I have those rose-colored lenses on? No. I think in this aspect, I had enough ability to talk about my experiences. So in that video, I was coming from a place of talking about mostly my experiences, like not about everyone else. My experiences as a foreigner dating in Korea, which was literally what the video was about. My message did sound, some of the words that I used, it did sound a bit inclusive, so I can't understand the confusion from some of the viewers, like, oh, she's mentioning everyone in Korea, like actual Koreans, like native born Koreans in Korea, they don't have the same experience as you, like, you know, you're letting your privilege show as a foreigner. But also as a black woman of color, I don't really feel like I have a lot of privilege being here. So it is what it is. It's just everyone's opinions. I respect everyone's opinions, and I do acknowledge that I can see the confusion. because some of these other comments that I'll address will speak into that, and I'll address that when I get there. However, I was talking about my experience as a foreigner dating in Korea. When I said I felt like being a queer woman in Korea is acceptable, I was talking about from a foreigner's point of view, because no one is going to care. Like, they already know that in America, we're all, I mean, everywhere around the world, there's queer people, obviously, but they know that we're like out in the open with it pretty much in America. Another thing to note is that my teachers at school literally, and I should have mentioned this, but it's okay. I was trying to hurry up and I was caught up in the moment, but no, I actually do feel like Korea is in a progressive movement where they're starting to get better with these topics and accept these things. Of course, there's always the hierarchy. Of course, there's going to be people who don't agree, and that's the majority. Of course, literally with every like minority group, it's always going to be a majority who's against us. But in Korea, I do see they're moving up with things. Like, we saw what happened with their president and everything recently. And a lot of feminist movements are coming up. A lot of movements in the LGBTQ community are coming up in Korea. My teachers literally are like, if they're making an example in class, they're like, if you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, like, like, all my teachers did that because they understand that this is a thing, like, this is people's real true identity, and we got to respect that. I literally go to a women's university. You have a room full of women, and you're like acknowledging that we can have girlfriends as well. So there's that. This person said, yes, young people are open-minded with sexuality. Yes, that's definitely true. No one is caring like that in the young generation in Korea. I can say that much. I know that because a lot of my close friends here know that I am queer, and they don't have a problem with it. They don't care, and they treat me like I'm normal, which is cool. I love that, and I'm so grateful for that. But she said, I don't think she's had any reason or opportunity to be exposed to the older generations, though, because they're very judgmental. The older generations, I don't even be speaking to them like that. But so, of course, yes, I haven't had that experience. So I do agree with that. However, I get judged just for being black. So I already know that I would have judgment from them. But I'm not finna date no old ass grandma or grandpa. Like, so yeah, I'm not talking to them to even know their opinion. But of course, like, in the black community, we have the older generation still being over us about it and not liking it. Like, yeah, but I'm talking about my experience again as a foreigner dating in Korea and approaching my 20s. So, this person said this comment section is exactly why a pansexual who can be attracted to any gender primarily dates women, because y'all men are actually embarrassing. And that's real. That's very real. Yes, I would love to clear this up. I was talking about going on a lot of dates with women in that video, right? I don't have any bias. Like, I can date anyone. It's about my heart and like what I'm attracted to. Like, it doesn't matter how they look, right? I'm attracted to their soul, their heart, their personality. People out here thinking I'm talking about being a lesbian. Some people have said that in the comments. They're like, she describes being pansexual, then goes on to talk about being a lesbian. Like, girl, again, these are my experiences. Does that mean that I don't like guys and transgender? No. I'm talking about my experience. Like, you want me to make up shit? Like, I don't know. I don't know. So, anyway, yeah, there's that. This person said, as a foreigner and lesbian living in Korea, I can confirm if you are not Korean, this take is really true. They'll just think of it as a foreigner thing and not really make their opinions your business. Also, no one will ever assume you're gay. Even if you are like the gayest person ever, people are more likely to look down on the person making the assumption rather than the queer person. At least openly, privately, they make assumptions and judge. However, if you are Korean in Korea, it's very hard because most people don't come out to their families and live in secret from their cis straight friends as well. There are no anti-discrimination laws, so you can be fired for being gay still. People won't assume you're gay, but they sure as hell will question why you don't have a boyfriend, haven't gotten married, and don't have kids, and they will make it a big deal. So for me, I don't worry, I'm chill. I don't face much discrimination for being gay. Still have faced some, but not as much as in America. And can even do some PDA without fear. Can't even do some PDA without fear. However, it's not the same experience for Korean queers. I completely agree with this person. Again, for the end time, my experience as a foreigner dating in Korea. And I don't like to tap into the negativity and stuff, but this one person said she probably can't understand the bad things they're saying about her because she can't understand the language. That's crazy. 야, 새끼야, 입 조심해. 이게 다. Okay, addressing, so I feel like it's only natural to go into queer dating as a foreigner in depth. It is definitely possible. I've seen a gay couple here. Like, actually, I've seen 2 gay couples here. And when I was going to my job interview that one time, they were literally in the cafe next to my job interview. So, and they was doing their PDA and everything. I was like, okay, get into it. Yeah, I've heard about so many people having friends who are same-sex couples and everything here. So don't be discouraged. It's definitely possible. And I have been on so many dates, as you heard. So I'll get more into that later. But of course, people are in their internal struggles, so they don't have their identity fully figured out. And so you have to give them their time and space to do that, even if they want to explore themselves. Don't be someone's project, okay? Like, it's demeaning to yourself. Till they figure that out, just support them and keep doing you, but don't get yourself hurt. Seriously. Been there, done that. Additionally, in the vlog when I came out, I addressed the fact that in Korea, well, I think in Asia in general, people who are just platonic friends are very affectionate with each other and very touchy. So when you're building friendships with people, it can be easy for those lines to get crossed and blurred quite a bit, because you're like, okay, are they flirting with me or are they just being friendly? It's so confusing and so irritating, let me tell you that. The only way you can know is if you ask. I know it's scary. I've been there so many times where I'm like, I ask and then I get turned down or like whatever, but you literally will not know unless you ask. So you just gotta get over that fear. Or if you're not ready, then just don't. Like, but it definitely saves you from being in that land of confusion and wasting your time. That's for sure. Okay, so I'm going to address straight dating. Best believe I wanted to go on dates with guys, right? But literally, I don't know if it's because I'm going to a women's school or what, but I haven't gotten really any attention from guys here. And like the 2 times that I did, it was like some old men who just like came up to me when I was in the subway station, and they was just like, oh, like, you're so beautiful, like, do you want to get a cup of coffee together? And I'm like, bruh, do you not see me? Like, I am not your age group. And like, I know because I'm legal at the end of the day that they're not thinking about that, right? Or it's not a problem, which, okay, yes, I understand that, you know, everybody got their type. Some people that are young like old and vice versa, right? But yeah, no, not for me. I definitely want a man in my age range. But one thing I have noticed is that I will see guys looking at me and they seem like they want to say something, but they just don't. And it's probably because they're like, oh, she's a foreigner, maybe she can't speak Korean. But again, like I was saying in the last clip, you don't know unless you ask. So yeah, maybe one day, man. So now I'm going to talk about these situations, not like super in depth, but I'll just tell you about some of the situations briefly that I have been in with girls. So when I went to the Soul Drag Parade, I met this girl and she was on like a date. She was like meeting another girl, and I felt like I was intruding in their date because they looked like they was in my age group, and I just wanted to have someone to talk to and be there because I literally knew no one, and we were all in the parade together, marching together. I didn't know they were on a date. That's the thing, because they just seemed like they were just cool friends. But when I asked like, hey, can I walk with y'all, one of them was like, yeah, sure, and then the other one was looking unsure. I think one of them was just looking at her in like a friendly way, and the other one was looking at her in a romantic way, which was kind of awkward because, again, I did intrude in their date and I really didn't want to. So I kept, because once I noticed that when they said they had met on like Bumble or whatever, I was like trying to back out because I didn't want to, like, that's a weird position to be in, and I don't want to intrude on dates. That is not cool. One of them was just like, no, you can walk with us, blah blah blah, and that was the one who was interested in her just being a friend. After the other girl who looked at her romantically had split off and wanted to like go back to her school and everything, the other girl, and you know, she was like initiating touch, like, you know, all this stuff, and she was fine and she was my type. So I'm out here thinking like, okay, cool, like, oh, who is she? But I felt really weird again that she was on a date. Like, I'm not knowing. In that moment, I didn't know that she only viewed the other girl friendly. I thought they was really trying to see like about each other and go out. Like, I'm no homewrecker then. Like, that's why I was trying to, you know. The other girl, she insisted that after the other girl leave that we hang out sometime, and she literally bought me bread and stuff, like, if she wanted to know about me, and then we traded Instagrams. But I definitely let her know before all that. I was like, you and the other girl are not a thing, right? And she's like, no, we're not. I specifically told her that, like, we're just friends, blah blah. And again, it was a weird, awkward situation, but I just wanted that to be cleared up first and foremost because I do not like that. That was one day. It seemed like it was gonna go well and like we were gonna build something, but it went absolutely nowhere. And that's experience number one. Experience number two, from the first day I started school here. I guess this one technically comes first before that other one because I started school before the parade. There's this girl, she was very beautiful. She was in one of my classes, and she immediately came up to me on the first day. It seemed like, I don't know, like I just thought she was really cool and wanted to help me, and I looked at her platonically only as a friend. But every single time I went into that class, she always made an effort to talk to me, and I just, okay, like she's really sweet and nice. But she would always give me things, right? And I felt like that was kind of her way of showing interest. It wasn't until she like gave me a hoodie that I was like, okay, maybe she does like me, because she's also very touchy with me again, like I was mentioning earlier. But I was starting to get very confused. And if you know, in America, when you give someone your hoodie, like that's kind of a romantic thing. Like, you know, couples always exchanging hoodies and they spray their perfume or cologne over it or whatever. So that's what I'm thinking. Turns out it was not. I like wrote her a note, put it in her locker just to clear things up. And it was a very lighthearted note. I was like, we can be friends, we can be cool, all that. But I was just wondering if that's what this is. It was more so me asking, like, oh, like, if this is what it is, like, let's go on a date, like, you know. But it was very, very lighthearted. And she tried to ignore it and act like it didn't exist. I'm like, that's not fair to me because I'm out here, like, writing this note. And, like, you know, the next time, like, 2 weeks or something when we was in class, I, like, went to her and asked her about it. And she still was trying to act like it didn't matter. And I was just like, dang, okay, well. I hate that, like, our friendship has changed now because it was, I know what I might expect might not be what the other person expects, and it might make them uncomfortable. But also, I can't feel bad for just being me and asking a simple question. Both sides are valid, and I can admit, like, I can accept how that would make her uncomfortable, and she wouldn't want to know what to say, so she needed time. But again, it was not really fair to me to just like not give me an answer. So she finally like kind of noticed that I was pissed off about it, I think, and then she finally gave me an answer and was like, no, that's not what I meant, like that wasn't my intention. And I'm like, okay, this is cool, like let's just be friends. And I think we're still cool, but things are different now and it just kind of sucks. The other situation, this situation is ongoing, and I'm gonna keep it very, very short because I really, really love this person and deeply respect them. And I see it going somewhere, but also have to be realistic with myself and not expect much right now either. Yeah, I don't want to speak too much on this person. If you're watching, I never have anything bad to say about you. I really appreciate you being in my life, and you're super awesome to me, and I'm just looking forward to whatever happens between us. We met in a very spectacular way. They're super awesome. They mean the world to me. They're my twin flame, like actually, literally. Like, if you don't know what a twin flame is, it's somebody who you can have multiple soulmates, but you can only have one twin flame in this world. And this person comes to show you your shadow self because you literally mirror each other. You both share essentially two halves of the same soul. You are the same person. So you trigger each other by mirroring each other to show each other your triggers and what you need to work on in your life, emotionally, in relationships and outside of relationships, just traits that you need to work on and to have self-love. So because we're going through that, and it's always at the worst times that you meet each other because you can't be together for some odd reason. So it can be emotionally taxing, as you may imagine. Have I fallen deeply in love? Yes. Have I also gotten very much heartbroken? Hell yeah. I needed the experience to grow. And at this point, I'm very emotionally exhausted. So I've just decided to surrender, which is what you should do in these situations anyway, because you and your twin flame will have union in some form, whether that's in friendship or romantically. So you kind of just need to surrender to the situation and let life play out and just be present in the moment and not overthink things too much. For me personally, that's really, really hard. I'm a Leo. I'm very passionate. I know what I want, and I'm very impatient. And they're the opposite. They're like very, very chill, very patient. So naturally we trigger each other. Yeah, naturally we trigger each other. I'm letting that Leo aggressive energy come out where I'm like, I want you. And they're like, I want you too, but just wait, hold on, I'm not trying to make no hasty decisions, which I respect that, and they respect my part. So I have nothing but love for this person, but it's also very exhausting at the same time. So that's all I had to say on that. But yeah, I've been on a lot of dates with some of these people, and dating apps in Korea, I haven't went on dates with the people on these apps, only the people that I met in person. But on the dating app, it really didn't go anywhere, and the conversations were just kind of dry, if I'm being honest. So and I don't like dating apps either. It was really just to try it at one time, but I don't. I like meeting people authentically in person. That's what I prefer the most. In terms of being black here and dating, there was this one time where this guy in the cafe had a fetish for black girls, and he kept staring at me and made me very uncomfortable. And then when I talked to the barista about it, she saw that he was looking at black girls on his phone. So that's the one incident, but everyone has treated me just fine, the people that I've been involved with. Anyway, I'll just say that it depends on your experience and the person that you're dealing with. A lot of black YouTubers in Korea will often say that people just want to be with a black girl to see how it is, because they all these stupid destructive stereotypes about us and how we are in bed and just all this stuff. However, I do feel like my race plays a factor sometimes, where I'm like, this person probably wouldn't show me to their parents. They probably wouldn't want their parents to know about me, low key, because they're afraid of what they would think, and of course they're gonna value their parents' opinion more than mine. At least that's what I've picked up, but I could be wrong. Everything is different, everyone is different. I guess I'll address making the first move, not even just as a black woman, but as a woman in general. Making the first move here, I've heard that, and again, this is based on just my general knowledge and experiences. I have heard that a lot of people here or in Asia like it. A lot of men seem to like it when women make the first move. But again, it depends on the person at the end of the day, because a lot of men could still like to make the first move. Again, that Leo passionate energy. If I like you, I'm going to make the first move. And I'm very smooth with it. I have to say, your girl is a pro at flirting a little bit. Okay. Like, I like to make the first move. And I feel like it has made people feel like, ooh, you know. But has someone made the first move on me? Absolutely. Absolutely. And that made me feel like, ooh, because I'm usually the one who always is making the first move. So it felt good, you know. I feel like it really doesn't matter here. It depends on your preference, but why not go out your comfort zone sometimes? Because the dating experience here can be very, very wild. It can go from 0 to 100, or it could be very chill. It all depends on the person that you meet. So that's pretty much all I have to say. I feel like my video is quite different from a lot of the opinions and takes that you've heard from other black YouTubers in Korea. So I'm glad to provide another angle on the situation and hopefully give some of you guys some hope and just some pointers, some encouragement, because a lot of stuff is starting to change about Korea. Like I said, they're in a progressive movement with so many things in their government and in society, so a lot of things are changing. And overall, especially with so many foreigners and like all the tourist stuff, because of like, you know, their low birth rate, and they're trying to increase tourism and foreigners to come and increase that and all of that. There's so many factors where mindsets are starting to change. So anything is possible at this point, and it's really just you're the only person who will stop yourself from making certain things happen. And I'll leave it there. This is such a broad and difficult topic, but I hope it resonated with a lot of you. That's all I have to say. So thank you so much for watching. If you like more content like this, please let me know anything else you would want me to talk about. And yeah, please like, subscribe. Yeah, thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you in the next video.